Hi everyone, Alan from MatPack. Right, on this video we're going to show you, like we did in the other video, how to mix the stuff with ours. If you've bought 5 litres of PlastiDip, green for instance, there's no need to buy the expensive thinners, but if you want to use the proper thinners, then you can buy the thinners from us. This is how you would make that into a sprayable tub. Okay, first of all, you get the 5 litre thinners from us, and if you haven't got it, you get a beginner kit, which is an empty, basically a 5 litre container, a filter and a funnel. Now, as we showed you in other videos, the easiest way, the best way you mix a product is 50-50. You'll get the best finish, the smoothest finish, and it will just look bang on. Now, obviously you want half of that in there, so the easiest way is to just pour half of it in there. Now, you can measure it, that'll work fine. A 500ml jug or something, keep pouring it in there until you've got 2.5 litres in there. Or the easiest way is just pour half of it in there. Now you'll know there's exactly half in there because they'll both be the same height. As you'll see. Right. Still got a bit to go yet. A little bit more. There you go, 50-50. So you've got 2.5 litres of thinner in there, 2.5 litres of thinner in there. Take this out. Now, what I have found is, I know it says on there, I'm sure it's used to say in big letters. Oh yeah, there you go, 5 litres approximately. I have tended to find that there approximately is quite approximate, and sometimes there's not quite 5 litres in there. I've never been flooded and found out there's been 5.5 litres in there, but I've definitely been short every now and then because we know exactly where 5 litres is. We know there's 5 litres in there, so there has to be 5 litres in here. Both of these will come up to the same level. It's as simple as that. But on the odd occasion, I have found they've made use of the approximately 5 litre part. So what we do now, put it on one side. We get the funnel in there. We've already shaken the hell out of this, so we know exactly it's fine. Get the funnel. And we pour, basically we're pouring 2.5 litres in here because we've got 2.5 litres of thinner, so, and we know where the 5 litre mark is that line. So as long as we pour up to that 5 litre line, then we've got exactly 2.5 litres of each. There we go. So now we've got 50-50 PlastiDip and thinner in there. Now, if we pour this into there, we're going to have lots of waste because it's all around the sides or in the bottom or the lid. So, the best way you can do it is, there should be 2.5 litres in there. We know there's 2.5 litres in there. So if we pour this 2.5 litres straight back into this tin, this funnel back in here. So let's put a lid on that because we know that's done. Get that out of the way. Right, put the lid back on it. We don't want to waste any of it, so we might as well put it back in the container. Bang the lid back on nice and secure. Now, when shaking this, you're basically making the 50-50 premix in here. You haven't got to do anything. But just for this video we're going to pour it in there just so you can see. leaking, I believe. You know when it's mixed because you can see as it all settles, it pulls it all, you haven't got a big blob of PlastiDip on the ceiling. Now, this is what I was on about in a previous video, about the guys that sell it in the tins. When it's ready to spray, it's very thin and you end up with most of it down the side of the tin. So if you put the lid off the one side, get a good grip of it. As long as you put the lid down here in the right place, it should catch most of it. And as you can see, that wasn't quite 5 litres in this tub again. There's a little bit of remnants, but we've picked up most of it. So what you'd have to do now to make this a proper 50-50 is you go get another tin of green, crack the lid open and just pour a bit more pure PlastiDip in there, because you know for a fact there's 2.5 litres of thinner in there, but there isn't 2.5 litres of the PlastiDip because it's come up short. So I'm going to go get another tin, I'm going to top this up, we're going to do that now. Stir one somewhere. I've lost the green one. Right, as you can see, some of the complaints you see from people crying about the thinner when it separates and stuff. I mean, if you look into here, actually we'll get the camera nice and close, you can see this has been sat for obviously for quite a while. And as you can see, look, we dip the stick in, look, there's nothing on there. You can see where it's all separated. And I shook this on the way as I was bringing it over. But, we'll give it a mix now. We'll pour this back in there, as you can see, we're a bit short, whereas this one's bang on the 5 litre mark. This one isn't, but we know there's 2.5 litres of thinner. We know there's 2.5 litres of thinner, so there's got to be 2.5 litres of PlastiDip. There's just not quite 2.5 litres of PlastiDip in there. Right, that's mixed up. So, go put the camera back. You want to scrape as much back in the tin as you can, because this stuff is not very cheap. Not like it is in America. I think it's cheaper than water over there. Over here, I think it's cheaper to get a new kidney. Okay, funnels back, pour it up. That's it. Only took a splash, but you know, if you're working to an accuracy level and you're getting through, as I used to do in the beginning when I used to buy from these guys, you buy 50 tubs at a time and you've got to use a little bit out of one tub every 2, you know, so it gets a bit expensive. But, put that lid back on there. Like I say, if you wanted to, you could let this funnel dry out, you could peel it off, reuse it for another colour, Use that tissue. Clean. That's it. Now shake them up. There you go. There is 10 litres of usable sprayable product from the 5 litres of the thinner that we had and the approximately 5 litres tin of PlastiDip. That's how easy it is. So you can get your plastic from these guys. If you insist, you can get your thinners from us. You know you're getting the right thinners then, the toluene naphtha. I've made another video about the thinners describing why they are and what they are. That's it, and you can make yourself some nice cheap mixes then. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Hope you learned something. That's Alan from MetPack. Ta-ra.